Everyone told you to save money. Your parents, your teachers, every financial advice column you have ever read. Save more, spend less, put it in the bank. And you listened. And it is quietly destroying your financial future. Welcome to Margin of Empire. This channel exists for one reason: to show you how money and power actually work. Not the version they handed you in school, the real version. Let us start diving deep into today's topic. Here is the uncomfortable truth about saving money. Saving money made sense in 1950, when inflation was low, when interest rates on savings accounts were 5 to 6%, when the dollar held its value decade after decade. That world does not exist anymore. Today, your savings account pays you 0.5%. Inflation is running at 3 to 4%. That means every year you save money in a bank, you are losing 3% of its real value. You are not saving money, you are slowly losing it, in slow motion, with the bank's permission and the government's blessing. Let us put real numbers on this. You save $50,000. You put it in a standard savings account. After 10 years, at 0.5% interest, you have approximately $52,500. Sounds okay, until you account for inflation. At 3% annual inflation, that $52,500 has the purchasing power of roughly $39,000 in today's money. You saved diligently for 10 years, and you are poorer than when you started. That's not saving, that's a slow leak. Now, here's what the people who actually build wealth do instead. They don't save money, they deploy it. There's a fundamental difference between saving and deploying. Saving is defensive. It assumes money is safe, sitting still. Deploying is offensive. It assumes money must work or it dies. Warren Buffett has said it more than once. Cash is a bad investment. It feels safe, it looks safe, but over time it's one of the worst things you can hold. Here's why. Every dollar you hold in cash is a dollar that is not compounding, and compounding is the only force in finance that can genuinely transform a middle-class income into generational wealth. The rule of 72. Divide 72 by your rate of return. That's how many years to double your money. At 0.5% in a savings account, 72 divided by 0.5 equals 144 years to double your money. At 7% in a broad index fund, 72 divided by 7 equals approximately 10 years to double your money. Same money, completely different destinations. In 30 years, $50,000 in a savings account becomes roughly $57,000. In 30 years, $50,000 in an index fund averaging 7% becomes approximately $380,000. That gap, that $320,000 gap, is the cost of following the wrong advice. And here's the part that makes this deeply systemic. The advice to save money was never designed to make you wealthy. It was designed to make you stable enough to keep working, stable enough to keep consuming, stable enough to never ask the uncomfortable questions about why the system is built the way it is. Wealthy families don't save, they invest. They buy assets, real estate, businesses, equities, things that produce income, things that appreciate, things that cannot be inflated away. Your financial advisor probably told you to build an emergency fund first, and that's not wrong. 3 to 6 months of expenses in liquid cash. That makes sense. That's a safety net. But everything beyond that safety net sitting in a savings account is not caution, it's ignorance, expensive ignorance. Because here's what inflation actually is at its core. Inflation is a penalty for holding cash. Every year the government and the Federal Reserve allow inflation to run. Every year cash holders pay a silent tax and asset holders collect a silent bonus. This is not accidental. Systems that consistently produce the same winners are not broken. They're working exactly as designed. So what do you do instead? You build the emergency fund. 3 to 6 months. Done. Non-negotiable. Then you stop saving and start deploying. Index funds, Broad market exposure, low fees, long time horizon. This is the simplest, most proven path for someone starting from zero. Real estate, if you can access it, not your primary home, income-producing property, where someone else pays your mortgage every month. Your own skills and business, the highest returning investment most people ignore completely. One skill that makes you 10% more valuable in the market can compound over a 30-year career into hundreds of thousands of dollars of additional income. The point is not that saving is evil. The point is that saving without deploying is surrender. You are surrendering to inflation, surrendering to the bank, surrendering to a system that profits from your caution. The most dangerous financial advice is not the obviously bad advice. It's the advice that sounds responsible, that feels prudent, that your parents believed in. Save more, spend less, put it in the bank. It sounds like wisdom, but in a world where the money supply expands every year and cash loses value every year, it's the financial equivalent of treading water in a river with a current. You are moving, just in the wrong direction. If this changed your way of thinking about money, hit subscribe. This is what we do at Margin of Empire every single week. We pull back the curtain on the financial systems and advice that shape your life, without the jargon, without the spin. Watch this next. It connects directly to everything we just covered. Drop a comment below and tell us, where is your money sitting right now? And is it actually working for you? Don't let the algorithm decide what you learn next. You do.